So this is the Indian head massage. There's 4 pages of moves that includes the upper back, the shoulders, the arms, the neck, the scalp and the face. We'll be working through all of them. The products that you need will be a container for your oil, for Indian head massage, sesame seed oil, mustard oil, any oil that is recommended and really nutritious for the hair and scalp would be fine. You would need a clip to pin your client's hair up, because when you're working on the back and shoulders, you don't want the hair in your way, and you also want something where you can release it very easily without disrupting your client or trying to take bands out of her hair. And you would need a comb at the beginning to make sure that your client's hair isn't tangly and that you can proceed without your fingers getting caught in any knots. So this has actually been done already. I will be place my oil into my container, my glass. My client has very beautiful, thick, long hair, so I will need enough oil to not only do all the body areas that we said, but to be able to nourish her hair as well. So I have about 10 mils in my glass. The setup for Indian head massage, you will need a 4-legged chair. You cannot, for obvious reasons, put your client on a chair which has wheels. You will need some kind of pad or support for their feet, because your client will not have shoes on throughout the whole time, and that pad will need to be covered in some couch roll. You will also need a pad to kneel on, so I always put that under the chair so I can pull that out when I need to. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my client's hair in a position where I can do the first parts of the routine. Occasionally you'll come across a client who needs more than one clip, so be prepared for that. Make sure that there's no hair dangling on your client's face, because they will find that very uncomfortable and very disruptive to the routine. So make sure there is no hair dangling down her face, but she'll feel the need to move. My trolley is completely out of my way, and I can now start on the first part of the routine. The first part of the routine is what we call grounding our client, preparing her for the massage, getting her to relax and calm, and making the massage flow a little more freely, considering that she may have had issues this morning, running late, children to get to school. All these factors could be making your client quite stressed when she comes in. So we want to try to relieve her of that so she can get the maximum benefit from the treatment. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stand at the side of my client. I'm going to place one hand on her forehead and one hand at the back of her head here. And I am going to tilt the head forward. I'm not going to push my client's head forward, but I am going to encourage it to go as far forward as it can, which will be stretching all these muscles and relieving them of strain. And if your client's chin can reach her chest, then that is perfect. Then we're coming up to what we call neutral. Don't tilt the head back, just up to neutral. So that's 1. We're going to tilt the head forward again, and we're going to do this 3 times. It's very slow. Allow the weight of the head to take that chin as far forward as possible, and then we're coming back up. client's breathing, because you need to be in total sync with your client. Now, I often, either before or after the head tilts, get my client to take nice deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Her breathing often is not as smooth at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you'll realise that it's smoothing out and calming down, and you can feel all the tension leaving them. As your client breathes, you're matching her breathing. You would then remove your hand that was on the back of the head and place that on the top of the shoulder, so that you haven't lost contact, because as you know, the rule to massage is don't stop moving and don't lose contact. I'm then going to reach over for, in my case, sesame seed oil. I've already checked with my client that she has no nut allergies, so I'm able to use this, or any allergies at all, which would make sesame seed not appropriate. If your client does have allergies, you might decide to use something like grapeseed or just plain massage oil, but it won't be as beneficial. I'm going to take a teaspoonful of oil, no more. You don't want this running down your client's back before you have a chance to make it warm, and then distribute it onto your client's back. I'll bring that down just a little bit more. My client is wearing a sarong, which has velcros at the front, so it's nice and secure, and it's a very good quality one, so it's nice and thick. It's keeping her lower body warm while we do the treatment. Let's get my second teaspoon of oil, make that warm, still with contact with my client, sides of the neck, back of the neck, down the arms, because we will be working on the arms, and if you need any more, on the back. So we are at this moment working from page 1 of your routine. Page 1 of your routine. I'm in walk stance position. I have one leg in front of the other. My back is absolutely straight, and I'm going to be using my body weight, not strength. So I am back here and I am leaning forward. The very first move, that is number 1, we've just done. That is when you're placing hands and allowing your client to take deep breaths, and you're matching your breathing to theirs. Number 2 is the tilting of the head, the rocking of the head. So you can actually write this on your copies, if you wish, in a way that you will remember and understand these moves. We are now doing number 3, and number 3 are thumb pressures and slides around the scapula. So I am leaning in. My client, you can see, is now leaning forward because I'm putting my body weight behind her. I will know that I've reached the right pressure when she resists and starts to lean back. Then I know that I'm at my working point, and that's when I would ease up slightly. So we're coming flat hands, but the thumbs either side of the spine, curve around the scapula, come down the arm, back up, side of the neck, effleurage down, leaning forward, they resisting back, either side of the spine, all the way up and round. This one is going to go across where the bra strap line would be, all the way down, the arms, side of the neck, and effleurage. Lean in. This one is going to go straight across the trapezius muscles at the side of the neck, straight across and down, back up, effleurage out, and the fourth one is going to go up the back of the neck to the occipital area, which is where the hairline is. But as soon as you get across the trapezius muscle, lighten up to go the rest of the way. You could give your client quite a headache if you put pressure on the back of her neck. So we're coming back down and we're doing a second set. I'm changing my posture now, so I am now leaning on the other leg. So we're coming up. I'm going to readjust my hand position so you can see where my thumbs went. The first one went over the scapula, right round the top ridge, large, down the arm, sides of the neck and the back. Lean in, either side of the spine. The second one's going to come across the bra strap line, down the arm, side of the neck and effleurage. The third one is going to come straight across the trapezius, down the arm, sides of the neck, effleurage, and the fourth line, lean in, all the way up. Get past the ridge of the trapezius and lighten up to the occipital and change legs. Down the arm and effleurage. Third set. For number 4 is going to show zigzags across the scapula. These are frictions. You're going to stand first this side. This hand is nice and supportive on this shoulder, keeping your client nice and steady, and with the butt of your hand you are going to do these zigzags as indicated on your sheet, and we're going to come round. 2, for 3, your arm is going to start to ache, so swap sides to give this arm that you've just used a bit of a rest. For 2, for 3, that's one set. Back this side. See the erythema starting to appear, blood rushing to the area, feeding the skin with oxygen, nutrients and minerals, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve. To this side, and 3 times round. Third set. Now your 5th picture is showing arrows going over the shoulder. These are thumb rolls, and to show you that on one side the thumb is going to start low on the back here and just roll over the shoulder, and you do both sides at a time. So this is what it is from the other side, rolling over the shoulder. We would come all the way to the top of the arm and roll back. That would be one set. And then we would come all the way to the top of the shoulder again and roll back for the second set. But remember, you would be doing this at the same time on both sides, from the neck to the shoulder and back to the neck, and you would do 3 sets. Now, diagram 6 shows you the arrows again, but they're coming in the opposite direction. So this is finger rolling, and your fingers are doing the exact same move as your thumb, but this time your thumbs are your anchor, and you would work your way, as you can see, from this side all the way to the top of the arm and all the way back, and I'll show you from the other side, rolling from the front to the back, where our thumbs was rolling from the back to the front, the fingers are rolling from the front to the back, and we're coming backwards and forwards from the neck to the top of the shoulder in 3 sets. But remember, they'll be going at the same time, both shoulders at the same time. Okay, so in your diagram it shows you that there's 2 5s. It's because that's the 2 movements. The first 5 is the thumb rolling forward, the second 5 is the fingertips rolling back. We're now on number 6 on your diagrams. Now you can see on number 6 that there's black dots either side of the spine. They're going to be pressure points. So again, you're leaning in, coming up slightly, leaning in, coming up slightly, leaning in, and then it shows you little flowers coming around the curve of your scapula. Those little flowers are frictions. So we're coming out gently, round, out gently, out, and you're coming out by a fraction. Effleurage down the arm, side of the neck, and change legs. Second set. Pressure points. And frictions. Change legs. Third set. Okay, the next diagram is 7. You can see the arrows are just striking down. So we're hacking across the trapezius and shoulder. That's 1 set. Two sets. And 3 sets. And on this first page, the last move, which is number 8, is what we call ironing out. It's like a deep effleurage. We're calming and soothing the area that we've been working on so that we can move on to page 2, which will be the arms.